the button?
Yes.
Okay, let's say hi to Nick. Hi, Nick. Feel better. These guys missed the lab, so you're all going to get this lab here together.
I miss you, Nick.
We do, buddy. We miss you. Okay?
I didn't get to see you break your leg.
Oh my God, he's not even here. Don't let me that much of a distraction. All right, so here we go. This lab, the reading that you guys also missed this week, would help you understand what we did in this lab, so you're going to kind of think about this lab when you go back and do the reading. Okay?
I read it.
You read it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So it'll make sense to you then, or at least it should. All right, so we've got a pan of water here. We've got some cups underneath it. We've got some craft sticks here, and we are going to try to make them move within the tub by using a heat source, which is some water that I'm heating up over there. Okay, we're going to see how that moves and then relate it to how the layers of the earth move because of the same process. Now, did you guys both have Murray last year?
Yeah.
All right, so part of this lab that we're going to do towards the end, you did last year for weather, okay? The concept is the same. When we start doing the part of the lab, you'll probably remember it, and I want you to think about why you did it last year and why you did it last year during weather and why we'd be doing it during earth science right now, okay? All right, so the water's heating up. We're going to let it get up to about 70 degrees or so Celsius. So it's going to need about another minute or two. All right, but now, when we put a heat source underneath this bin, what's going to happen within the bin?
It's going to get hotter.
Be more specific. Is all the water going to heat up at the same time?
It's going to get hotter like where the heat source is.
Okay. Directly above where the heat source is will probably get hotter than the rest of the bin, right? So now what will happen if you could see the water, the individual water molecules, what do you think the water molecules would be doing that are above the heat source in the pan?
Maybe going faster.
Okay, they'd start to move faster because why?
Because they're hotter.
Okay, because they have more heat energy, and then would they just vibrate in place, or what would they do?
They like spread.
Okay, they probably spread out a little bit. Okay, what do we know? A lot of times you hear people say that heat does what? Like, what direction does heat move?
Up.
Okay, heat tends to rise. Okay, and so we're going to see in this lab if that's indeed the case. Okay, so now Griffin, come here. We should be good now. Carrie, you can stop the video for just right now.
Do I press the red button?
Okay.
I don't know Nick that well.
I want you to grab the top just underneath the lip of the beaker. Okay, perfect. Squeeze it. All right, bring it back over here. Set it on the table right here. And now lift this up a little bit, slide it under there. Good. All right, now we're going to do this backwards from the way we did it yesterday to give this water time to heat up. This is the part that should remind you
Oh yeah.
of what you did in Murray's class last year. Is this ringing a bell, Griffin?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put the blue food coloring in the bin, but not right over the heat source. And we're going to put the red food coloring right over the heat source. And let's look at the difference between the red and the blue are moving. And Carrie, you can get down on the side here too and show it like perfect like that. All right, what do we see some differences right away in how the red and the blue are moving?
The blue moved faster, I guess.
The blue moved like lateral, and the red got up.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we talk about direction, let's focus on direction. So by lateral, Griffin, what do you mean?
Sideways.
Okay. So the blue's going to the side,
Inward.
okay, towards the center of the bucket there, and the red's doing what?
Going up.
Okay,
and
the red's
spreading.
going up and spreading out. Perfect. Now, once the blue gets where the red's at, what's the blue do?
It goes up and spreads.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once the blue gets over the heat source, it starts to do the same thing the red's doing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. We should be good now. Okay. So now I'm going to take these two craft sticks. We're going to set them in the water above the heat source. What do we think is going to happen to the craft sticks?
They're gonna spread apart.
They're gonna spread.
Okay. Okay, it's not going to happen immediately, but we should see, like you guys said, eventually here these craft sticks should end up starting to move to the sides of the bin, because we can see with that red food coloring as that red food coloring rises up. That's the same thing the water's doing. Okay, and as the red food coloring rises up, when it gets to the top, what happens?
Oh, they start spreading apart.
Okay, it's going to rise all the way to the top, but once it gets to the top, it can't go any higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once it gets to the top, it's going to spread out because more stuff is rising up behind it. So you can see how the
Yeah.
craft sticks are moving apart. And if we left them here for 5 or 10 minutes, they'd eventually move all the way to the sides of the pan. But you can see how they're already moving in that direction. Okay, so this is not a whiz bang boom lab or anything like that, but you can see clearly that there's a process happening here that we need to relate to what's happening within the interior of the Earth. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. You want to say hi to Nick, Kara?
That's okay.
Okay. Say hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Okay, very good. All right, good. Put your goggles back.